Get ready for divine interruptions. So, this word, the Lord is hilarious, literally. Like yesterday, I was working on the laptop while on a Zoom call, and all of a sudden, my systems just crashed, right? On one particular area of my systems, it crashed, but everything else was fine. The Zoom was fine, right? And I sent a message over to the people that I was Zooming with, and I told them that, you know, a part of my systems got interrupted and all that stuff. And I don't know why. I know how to spell interruptions, but like my mind drew a blank and it took me a little bit to get there, right? And so I began to type it in, and I didn't know that it was because the Lord was trying to highlight that word to me, right? Until later on. So I went about my day. Next thing you know, it crashed again, right? And my system was interrupted. And this time it was like restarting, right? And so I still didn't get it. I still didn't think that the Lord was speaking through this. So, like, after all that, later in the afternoon, the Lord had me go on YouTube and He had me watch this one video, right? And it's so completely irrelevant. It's about flip phones because I don't know what it is yet, but the Lord will eventually have me get a flip phone. I don't know if it's to replace my regular everyday phone, just so that, to limit distractions, excuse me. But He's been speaking to me regarding that, right? So He led me to watch this video about a man who switched over to a flip phone, right? And all of a sudden, like, he started saying the word interruptions, and immediately, like, the Lord quickened my spirit, right? And I knew He was speaking that word, but I didn't know exactly what it was yet. So I just went about my day, and the rest of the day, I just kept doing what I was doing, right? And I kept hearing in my spirit later on divine interruptions. But I still needed clarity as to what the Lord was speaking to me, right? And so I just went about my day, and fast forward to today, this morning, right? It was like, honestly, not even in my head anymore. Like, I completely forgot about it, and I was just going about my day, and I did work on the laptop, and I was on Zoom again, right, with a whole group. And it was so funny, you guys, because within less than 1 hour, there were literally weird interruptions that were happening on Zoom, on the Zoom that I was in. And it was so funny because, like, none of that has ever happened since the beginning of, like, these calls that I was in, like, on Zoom, right? Which is, like, today's the 5th day, right? And so, like, it was so strange for these interruptions to happen because literally it's from people who weren't even supposed to be on that call, And so I knew immediately. It was literally 3 times in less than 1 hour. And it was always in a time where we were all just working quietly, right? And it's called the quiet time, right? We have like little times in the Zoom where we do quiet time and we just work, but we're still on Zoom, right? And it was always during that time, And next thing you know, I was like going through this, like, kind of like a module, right? And on the module, I just see the arrow, and it said detour on it, right? And all of a sudden, like, I watched this video, and all of a sudden I hear contractions. And the Lord immediately reminded me of the word that I made, or I recorded months back, right? And I learned this throughout my walk with the Lord, that when He first tells me a particular word, there's usually a process that comes after the first initial of him speaking it to me, right? And then once the process to get to the completion of that word happens, he brings me back to that, right? So yeah, I don't know what this means for you guys, but after this, the whole scenario happened, I just got such an excitement in my spirit, like a giddy excitement in my spirit, knowing that the divine interruptions that are about to happen are good interruptions and will work for your good. You know, if you've been in this season where it doesn't make sense, where the Lord has brought you completely to like an opposite, like your situation's opposite of what he has spoken over your life, know that he will interrupt for his, as long as you're seeking him and your heart is for him, he will interrupt you and lead you back on that detour into his will and purpose for your life. So get excited and get ready to celebrate. Congratulations, you guys. God bless you.